All right, guys, welcome to this video on how to get easy results for your clients. So at this point, you've chosen the right clients, okay? And again, we're gonna talk about how to get clients a little bit later. But before I teach you how to get clients, you need to know all this other stuff because you wanna make sure you not only choose the right clients, but you know prior to getting a client how to get results for them. All right, so we'll talk about how to get the clients a little bit later, but for right now, let's make sure we understand how to get results for our clients. So there are two main campaigns that I like to use to get easy results. But before we talk about that, what we need to do is make sure that our clients have the ability to convert these leads into sales. And we can easily do that when we first onboard our client and have our first conversation with our client. We can have a very, very simple conversation that makes sure that happens. Now, if you have followed the perfect client formula and you are you're running ads for a client that fits those traits, this should all be super easy. You're 80, 90% of the way there. However, if you're choosing a hard client, then what I'm about to show you is not going to work as well and could not work at all. But if you choose a client within the perfect client formula, this is a no-brainer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask the client who closes their sales, okay? Who closes their sales and what that sequence usually looks like and how they are getting their existing sales. So let's break this down. So first we say, okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say it is a gym owner. We say, okay, Mark, the gym owner. Mark, who is your best salesperson? Who is the person that closes your existing leads right now? Oh, that person is Tom. Okay, so Tom closes that's the person that closes your existing sales right now. So is Tom's available? Tom gets on the phone. He closes sales. He's your best guy, right? And Mark, the gym owner, says, "Yeah, Tom's the best guy. He's always closing our sales." So what you want to do is you want to say, "Okay, Mark, the gym owner, I want you to promise me that any leads I send you go directly to Tom, because if I'm gonna spend money." If I'm going to spend your money, I want it spent wisely. I want to make sure that the leads I get you go to your best sales guy. So if you can please promise me that your best sales guy, Tom, is going to get these leads, I think we can really, really make your campaign rock. So first you make the client agree to that. And if you want, you could even get it in writing. You can even make a client agreement that says, I agree to send my leads to my best salesperson if you want. So that's number one. We find out who is the best salesperson. We make sure that when we send these leads over, we're sending it to that person's phone or that person's email address. So we might say, hey, what's Tom's email? What's Tom's phone number? Because when we get these leads, we're going to be sending them to a phone number or sending them to an email address. So we need to know who that is, who's the best salesperson. We need to send them there. Then we need to look at what the process looks like. So for instance, if the majority of the leads are being closed on the first day, okay, or the first week or the first month or whatever, we need to look at that and we need to plan accordingly, okay? So for instance, if we know that a realtor can get on the phone with a client and get a buyer contract within a few days, then we know to say, hey, you should see results within a week or two. Or if we know that the gym owner has the ability to call people back right away, then we need to say, hey, make sure that you keep calling your leads right away. However, if we find that they wait a week to call their leads, we need to say, hey, listen, the way your closing process and the way you deal with new leads, what that looks like is not going to work so good for our ads. We need to make sure that somebody's calling these people within 15 minutes. How can we make that happen? Okay, so asking what it looks like helps us to define expectations for the client. It helps us to help the client get better results by maybe giving them some suggestions on improving, because I will tell you this, there's what I call the 15-minute rule. The 15-minute rule is if a lead comes in, you need to follow up with that lead personally within 15 minutes. That is the window of opportunity. After 15 minutes, your chances of closing that client, getting that client to an appointment, what have you, drastically drop minute by minute. So we need to look at, again, who the person is that are closing sales, the best person, what that process looks like, help the client understand how to improve that process to work with our leads that we're bringing in, and also define their expectations, okay? And say, hey, listen, you need to expect leads the first day, or hey, listen, you need to make sure that you follow up because whatever reason. I mean, you just got to look at what the process looks like so that you're fully aware of what's going on in their business. So you're not just sending leads and not knowing what's happening. If the client comes back and says, hey, we're not getting results, hey, we're not making sales, you know what their process looks like so that you can help them through it. Because I'll tell you this, almost 100% of the time, clients don't get sales not because of your ads, not because of your leads, but because of the what, because they're doing something wrong here or their who sucks. So I have saved clients before, and I've helped my students save clients by improving on these two things, not getting lead costs down further, okay, by improving these things. Now, the third thing we need to do is ask the how. How are they getting their existing sales right now? So, for instance, I was consulting with a realtor a while back, and that realtor, I asked them, I said, how are you getting most of this? The realtor wanted seller leads. And I said, how are you getting most of your seller leads right now? She says, well, honestly, nothing's really working. I'm getting most of my seller leads from buyer leads because, about 40% of the people that come to me to look to buy, they're also looking to sell their home. So once I found that out, I said, well, listen, she came to me for buyer leads. I say, listen, what if I could get you more buyer leads for less cost a lot faster? And like you said, 40% of them are going to be seller leads. So in the end, you're going to get more seller leads. And she liked that idea, and I was able to do that for her. Okay? Or another example, let's say that the gym owner says, well, listen, we want to run these Facebook ads, and we just want to run an awareness ad to get people to come into our gym. And I say, well, let me ask you something. How are you getting your existing sales? They say, well, people visit our website, and then they call our phone number, and then we talk them into coming in and taking a free week or getting a free personal training session or whatever, or we give them something, and they sign up. I say, okay, Mark, the gym owner, if that's how you're getting existing sales, then we need to leverage that because we don't want to fix what isn't broken. So let's run an ad that gets people on the phone. Let's run an ad that gets people to either call you or gets their information so you can call them and give them an offer like you're already doing, okay? So one thing we can do is leverage what's already working. Now, there are some standard campaigns that we use for almost every client that work day in and day out. For instance, with MMA gyms, we give away a free week of training. With regular workout gyms, we give away a free month. With realtors, we usually give away a list of 10 homes under the median price of homes in the area, and we make sure those 10 homes look rather good for their price. For chiropractors, we give away a exam, doctor's report of findings, and x-rays for $21. To give you another example, let me think of another one. For regular doctors that perhaps do alternative medicine, we can give away a free consultation for alternative therapies to certain ailments or diseases. You got to be really careful with that one, though, because Facebook can be rather picky when it comes to talking about diseases and conditions, and I will talk about that in one of the later videos on how to keep your Facebook ads compliant. so that you don't get your ad account shut down or so you don't get your ads disapproved. But just to let you know, there are some standard ads that we run. Restaurants, a free dessert or free drink with meal purchase is a great one. As well, you can run an event ad for almost any business. For instance, for personal training, you can run an ad that brings people in for a free boot camp, and then you upsell them at the end of the boot camp on personal training sessions. There are a variety of old standards that work generally no matter what. However, when you ask the business what is already working, okay, you get a lot closer, because if it's already working and it's already working for them, why change it, right? We just got to take that and we got to convert it into an offer on Facebook. To give you one more example, let's say that the how happens to be Groupon, and they have an offer on Groupon and it's working and it's converting people into customers, but they're not getting the best customers, or they don't like the fact that they're having to discount so much. We take that same offer and we put it on Facebook, and now we get more customers, easier, faster, and the business owner controls what they charge and gets 100% of it. Okay, so again, by asking the how, we get a lot closer to what offer should we use to promote this business. So the first step is to ask. Okay, now let me show you the two campaigns that we run that really work almost every single time. And the first one is called the Crazy Discount Funnel. Okay, this is called the Crazy Discount Funnel. Now, what I do is I use ClickFunnels for this, and I'll actually give you this funnel for free. So that you can use it for yourself. You literally just change out the logos, the words, whatever. So, for instance, the Crazy Discount Funnel, let's use a chiropractor as an example. So for the Crazy Discount Funnel, what we're going to do is we're going to create an ad on Facebook, and we might have, an image here of the chiropractor cracking backs or doing whatever a chiropractor does. And generally what I like to do is I go on that chiropractor's Facebook page and I look at some of the existing photos and things that they have, and I try to find something that just makes me feel good. If I look at it and I see them cracking backs and dealing with customers and people are smiling, it generally makes me feel good. And I try to pick those. I'll scour the person's or the chiro's or whoever's Facebook for those type of images. And I try to get close-ups, images of, images that look real. I never use stock images. I never use images that look too professional. I always like to make it look real and show that it's a real business. So there's the image, and then we have our copy right here. This is our Facebook ad. And then there's, a button or a section that they can click. Okay, and this is where they click. And generally what we'll do is we'll offer a $21 exam, x-ray, and doctor's report of findings. Now, depending on what state you're in, there's different legal limits to what chiropractors can do. So depending, you might have to move around or change this. But that's one offer we generally run, and it works pretty darn well. So I'll just call this the $21 offer, all right? And we actually can translate this to a lot of different businesses. I like to use anywhere from $19 to $21. Like you can do a $21 teeth cleaning for dentists. You can do a variety of different things with the Crazy Discount Funnel, or you can even do free, depending on what you're promoting. So then what we do is we send them to a page, and all this page is literally, it just repeats the offer that was said on the Facebook ad. So it restates the offer. I generally like to put a countdown timer. I'll usually put it at like 7 minutes and 11 seconds. I call it the 7-11 timer. So I put it at 7 minutes, 11 seconds, and then I have a button. And what happens is when they click the button, a pop-up comes up, and it allows them to enter their name, email, and phone, okay? Once they enter their name, email, and phone, it takes them to a thank you page, okay? And this is a thank you page. And this thank you page will generally have a message from the owner of the business. I'll put 5555555 and the phone number. Okay, that's all messy, but that's supposed to be the phone number. So now what happens is we usually offer an upgrade. We say, hey, thanks for getting this offer. We'll throw in this extra thing if you call us right now. So, for instance, for chiropractors, we'll do $21, X-ray, doctor's report of findings, first visit. They sign up. They go to the thank you page. We offer them a free 15-minute or 10-minute massage if they call right now and book their appointment. What this does is it gets people to pick up the phone and call. However, if they don't call, that's okay because we have their information. Now, that information is going to go to our sales guys. So the who is going to go to his phone. That information goes to his phone. Now, at this point, this guy, within 15 minutes, needs to call the prospect and get the prospect to come in, schedule an appointment, come in and try the free week of the gym, whatever. So for instance, this was a chiropractor ad, but we might offer a free week of MMA. So, click here to get a free week of MMA. Here's the offer. Enter your name, email, and phone number. Thank you page. We'll give you a private lesson if you call. That we send the name, email, and phone to the person that handles sales for the gym, and then that person calls the prospect, gets them to come into the gym to take their first class. Boom, they become a customer. So this is the crazy discount funnel and how that works. Again, I will give you this funnel. You could just literally change the pictures, change the buttons to suit your client. It's really plug and play. The next thing we do is number 2 is very simple messenger ads. Now this is really, really cool. So this works really, really well for something like MMA gyms. I find that a lot of times people just have a very simple question and they don't want to enter their name, phone number, and email to get a voucher or to get an offer. They really just have a question, but because it's not easy for them to ask the question, they don't ask it. Therefore, the conversation never gets started. Therefore, we've lost a potential customer. So, for instance, for MMA gyms, I might create an ad and I might say something like, I'll have an image and I'll usually have like 2 kids, grappling, and then we have our button and the button will say, send us a question. And the copy will say something like, hey, there's no better feeling than to see your child developing discipline, respect, and honor, competing or learning the fastest growing sports in America, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or sport MMA, or whatever it is. And then I'll say, have a question about our program, click the button below to send us a message. That's it. That's the whole ad. No funnels, no nothing. And then I set this up to where if they click this button, it opens their messenger, okay? So this is their Facebook Messenger. And what happens is when they click this, I have it set up to where the client's business page says, have a question, and then there's a button that says yes. And I'll usually say, have a question about our programs, click the yes button, and then ask your question. So what happens is the prospect clicks this button, and then he asks his question. Now, over here, back to the who, the guy that handles the sales, is going to have his phone. And what we have that person do is they have the Facebook page messengers. Just so we're clear here, this is the phone. So he has this phone here, and he has his Facebook page app installed on the phone. He's set as an admin on the business page for the client. So for instance, if it's Tampa MMA, there's a Tampa MMA Facebook page. We take the salesperson, we make them an admin or a moderator or what have you of the Facebook page. We make sure that that person has that installed on their phone. When someone clicks yes and asks their question, it sends a notification, just like as if you got a regular notification from your Facebook Messenger to that person and they see the question. At this point, they can respond and answer the question, try to get that person on the phone, and again, lead them to the sale. The beautiful thing about this is, even if someone asks a question and this person is busy or it's late at night, when your salesperson responds, when the client salesperson responds, people will see it because they may not see their email, they might not see a Facebook ad, but they will see a response in their Facebook Messenger. It's funny, people tend to always check their texts and their Facebook Messengers over phone calls, over voicemails, over emails, over almost anything. So as long as they clicked yes and asked a question, we now have the ability to respond to them and know that almost probably 99 or 100 times out of 100, they are going to see it and the conversation will get started. And really, a lot of times, these people here, they just had a simple question like how much are classes or what days are classes. Parents, for instance, may not want to fill out their name, email, and phone number, but they just want to know, hey, are the classes afternoon? Are they Monday through Friday? And if we just answer that question, now a dialogue has started. Now we have a potential client, okay? Both of these types of ads work extremely well. They work well for bars, restaurants, something like, hey, ever been to our bar? Tell us what your favorite drink is and we'll give you one free. Click here to tell us what your drink is. And then they open the messenger. It says, hey there, what's your favorite drink? And then they respond with Bacardi. And then you can respond to them and say, hey, my name's John. I'm a bartender here. I'd love to give you a free Bacardi. Please come in and see me. And you just start the conversation. And you can build up quite a client base right away with this. Now, there are some advanced techniques to use what's called messenger bots to create a thread where you say, you know, what's your favorite drink? Can you make it to our event this Saturday? Yes, no. And you can create custom responses based on what the client says. But I'll be honest with you, I find that in many cases, that's unnecessary. All it really takes is someone to start the conversation and a good salesperson to just simply reach out and begin a dialogue, and boom, you have a new customer. So these two, the crazy discount funnel and the easy, what I like to call actually one-step messenger ad, boom, boom, one-step messenger ad are the two campaigns that work the best for local businesses and easy ROI clients. Yes, you can run other types of ads, but again, the strategies here that I'm covering in this training is to show you how to land easy clients, how to get results for those clients without a lot of muss and fuss and hubbub, and get paid every single month without having to be a marketing guru. Literally anybody, I mean, it literally takes 5 minutes to create a messenger ad. You upload a picture, you write a few words, you press a couple buttons, and you're getting clients for local businesses. And you may have never ran a Facebook ad before, and you can still do this, and you can still make money. It is literally the easiest business in the world if you stick to the formula and you stick to the plan. All right? So I will see you guys in the next video.